It is March and I am officially a liar because I said I would be posting part 2 in February definitely, but it is March and I still have not posted. Yeah, well done to me, I guess. Hello, hi, assalamu alaikum. I am Reika and this is part 2 to Cringetober 2025. Yes, I know 2025, but it's March 2026. Something you should know about me is that I overestimate myself every single time. So at the time of November, I was doing more than 30 things at once, and halfway through Cringetober, everything just collapsed. And that results in me taking something away from the many things I had been doing. And unfortunately, Cringetober, the second half, was the one with the short end of the stick. So at one point, I just gave up on Cringetober too, just finished whatever I could and moved on. So with that out of the way, you can see firsthand through the speed paints what I mean by that. We're starting heavy with day 16 reclaimed insecurity. The character I am drawing is Angela. She's one of my favorites, and her friends are the ones hugging her. The best way to explain this is through the meme, do my friends hate me or do I need to get some sleep? That is the embodiment of this drawing. So Angela didn't believe that her friends actually liked her, actually cared for her. Sometimes she would think that they just find her as a nuisance and they're just being nice to her so that she doesn't feel left out. But over time, she learns that her insecurity was getting in the way of her friendship and being genuine with her friends, and so that is what her reclaimed insecurity is. Because I drew 30 characters, I didn't have time to color it in, so I left it as is, but it actually looks nice just the way it is because it shows off the line art. Day 17 self insert, and even though I have so many OCs, I don't think I've ever made a self insert that actually meant to be a self insert. For example, Angela right before this and Lyra right here, they all are meant to be their own separate OCs. But I ended up choosing Lyra anyway because she's the most closest to a self insert that I have. And I thought I would draw also my favorite character that Luna Ophelia has designed, Prince, which I jokingly always say that he is my husband and so on. It started as a joke that I really liked him and he was my husband, but then after a while, I just really liked his character and she draws him for me every birthday. He's also perfect drawing a reference. He's just the type of character I really like drawing. I will say though that the coloring is a bit lackluster. But that is the end of the story. Let's just put a pin in that. Okay, the next day, day 18, which is alternative universe, and I had to bring back the fan fictions for this because you know how I love the alternative universe fan fictions. At the time, I was rereading a fan fiction I wrote called What is a Hero, and it's basically, as you can see on the speed paint, basically a villain Deku fan fiction where Deku is actually a villain instead of a hero. And I wanted to draw my specific villain Deku after rereading the fanfiction, and I ended up really experimenting also with the pose, but I chickened out last minute and just cropped it. So I ended up with a headshot, and I kept adding lighting to it, like bounce light, which really added to the drawing, and I liked it even more afterwards. Day 19 meme redraw, and I thought this one meme was so perfect for these two characters. The one on the right is Eli and the one on the left is Kyra. They have such opposing personalities even though they have a lot in common too. They're both in the same universe as Prince, who I mentioned before, and also Lyra. So I was having a lot of fun because I never really draw E&I. He's such a petty guy, but he's fun to write. Yeah, I really like drawing that expression, it suits him. Oh, and this is one of those drawings where I finished it only in December, along with the one before this. But at that point, I just accepted my fate. Usually, I only draw them when it comes close to Luna Ophelia's birthday. And there we go. I really enjoyed drawing these two. I never get to draw these too much. Okay, we can finally move on to day 20, a huge milestone after a while. Day 20 is Pikru. I'm not sure how to spell it, but I did not draw for this prompt, as you can see. And honestly, I was relieved that I did not need to draw this day, because at this point and in the future even, I just drew sketches for prompts and moved on with the next day and only finished them in December. So this was a good breather for me. And I chose Layla Hart, my OC, to recreate. I experimented with a lot of them, but I chose just this one to put in the video, where it is one of those old 90s anime kind of style, and I wanted to see how Layla would look in that style. It reminded me when I used to be on Gacha and try to recreate my OCs on there. And back then you had limited options and you had to make do with whatever you had. It was nostalgic. I really liked this experience. So that is about it, and we can move on to day 21, which was a whole thing too. Day 21 was animatic, which this technically isn't, but close enough I guess. So I chose the OCs that I haven't drawn in a very long time, since when I was in school. These characters are Yin and Yang, but specifically I chose Yang, the girl, and this other girl that was very obsessed with Yin, honestly, and she gets upset when Yang tries to speak to Yin. I don't know if you're getting confused because of the Yin and Yang thing, but Yin is the boy, Yang is the girl. And I enjoyed putting this together. It was very funny because I had a chance to revisit their personalities and see how I would interpret them now, which was really fun. I think this was the first ever story I worked on that was fully centered around romance but still with some fantasy, so it was cringy. Let me tell you that.
Have you been talking to my boyfriend? No, I haven't been talking to your boyfriend. Your boyfriend's been talking to me! Excuse me?
Day 22 art style experiment, and I specifically went for Toilet Bound Hanako. The eyes I wanted to try and imitate, and I combined that with this chibi art style I want to experiment on. That's basically an in-between normal style and the chibi art style that I've been working on and trying to develop. It's something similar to what Love to Draw manga has. So I try to also do a experiment where I'm not drawing points and edges and instead putting round shapes there instead. For example, the hair. For this drawing, I once again drew Layla Hart, my OC, and I didn't want to color, so I left it as is, which actually looks pretty. The eyes make it so much better too. And I actually printed it out and put it in this frame I tried to stitch with felt. I made it this light beige color so it looks like it's the inside of an apple. Kinda cute. Day 23 Soulmates. Obviously, I needed to draw Yin and Yang. Their story's name is Entwined Souls. So obviously I needed to draw them because the whole concept about yin and yang, the opposites but still make a whole, is basically soulmates. I had to draw them. So I found this one photo and I decided this would be perfect for them. I need to draw them in this. So I drew them and it turned out so pretty actually. I really like how I drew them here. I forgot how fun it was to draw these two characters, where Yin is the one with white eyes and Yang is the one with white hair. I was so excited. I was so happy honestly with this drawing. And the red strings are so fitting because these two characters that my friends and I created always had to be put together. They were made for each other. I really should revisit their story, but I need permission first before I can put it on the internet because again, co-writers. Day 24 is character redesign and I chose a character that I would not be making a video on. For example, Angela from the first prompt I think in this video is a character that I want to redesign and want to talk about in a separate video, and that is true for a lot of characters that I want to redesign. So it was difficult to choose which character I should do in this prompt. So then I decided I'm going to redesign a character named Yama from My Monsters and Fruits universe. If you don't know about it, it's just a universe where you've got monsters and you've got fruit people. But yeah, I redesigned him and I only gave him a name now for this video because he didn't have a name before. He's friends with Fragaria, who is a strawberry, and he is supposed to be based off moth. So I decided I'm going to put some moth kind of themes into it because he already has so much eyes, so I'll just put some more eyes there and change his hair color and so on. And I only did a sketch. This was more sufficient than just making a rendered whole character sheet. Day 25 is fake game screenshot. I chose the game Street Fighters once again because again that is the only game I remember playing really as a child other than Minecraft, and I didn't want to do a screenshot of that because this one is pixelated and it's smaller, the screenshot I chose, so I could easily put my maybe two characters in there, and the characters I specifically put in the screenshot is Ovid and Ryujin. So then I put those two there fighting to kind of mimic the webtoon they are in, where they are put it against each other, and it isn't that good, I'm gonna be honest, but I was having fun even though it isn't that good. Maybe someday I'll try again with this pixelated art, but it is not now. So back on the topic about webtoons, the next prompt, day 26, is guilty pleasure media, and that would be obviously webtoons, specifically the webtoons relating to contract marriages or arranged marriages. I don't know what to say. I'm guilty when it comes to that kind of cliches. Recently when this prompt came up, I was reading this webtoon called Vows and Vendettas, and obviously my guilty pleasure is reading those cringy webtoons that are all the same basically. But most of them were good that I've read. But this one I recommend because even though it follows the same formula, it has its own uniqueness to it. Like the story doesn't follow female lead that comes from a different universe or regresses or anything like that. She's lived and breathed there, she's got her own dreams, and she's very funny. She's weird and she annoys people, and I like how the male lead genuinely thinks she's a weirdo. And I really wanted to show their dynamic where they hate each other but they're going through with this marriage anyway. Drawing this manga style and the expressions really made me miss drawing comics. Day 27 is Kajinka, and that, if you don't know, is when you turn something that's not human into a human design, basically. And the non-human character I chose was My Melody, but specifically from the Plave music video, with each Sanrio being paired up with one of the Plave members, My Melody being with Bambi. If you haven't guessed, Bambi is my favorite. And the song and music video is so genuinely cute. I like it. And I really could not stop myself from thinking I want to draw these two together. I wanted to draw them normally, but then I chose chibi because then I could draw their whole outfit in the short amount of time that I have. And I really like how it ended up. It ended up so soft. And I specifically looked for those that was around the time when My Melody was created so I can put her into that clothes and also try to make it fit the Boo music video, specifically her outfit. Look at them, they're so adorable. Day 28 is kids show and I thought it would be a nice idea to try and draw one of my OCs into a kids show that would fit them. And I thought about actually strawberry shortcake and proceeded to draw one of my characters in that style. Initially, I went for the 1980s version, but the rendering was a little too complicated for me personally, and then I ended up combining that version with the 2009 version that I grew up with. And the said OC that I am drawing is Fragaria. I tried to have him imitate the pose that I was referencing in the poster that Strawberry Shortcake was in. While I was trying to cell shade like the poster, I ended up really liking how the colors ended up. It was so vibrant and I ended up going overboard with the colors, but I'm actually kind of proud of myself with this drawing. Yay. Day 29 is clown, and for the longest time I've been wanting to make my own clown OC. I don't know why I've had this urge to just make a clown OC. I don't know what is going on in me. And then I decided I had to take this opportunity to draw a clown OC, to design a clown OC, but I didn't know what I would use the OC for. And luckily, I thought, wait, I could design an OC for my Monsters and Fruits universe because I have been doing art already on them and I need to design characters for this universe anyway. So then the next step was monsters or fruits. I had enough monster OC, so a fruit OC, and then more specifically, I decided to do a cherry OC. But it was so difficult for me to find a perfect balance between the colors while I was trying to put in the colors and so on. So I actually asked my friend for advice, Luna Ophelia, and she told me with the colors I've chosen and how desaturated I've made them, she doesn't think of a cherry at first glance. But at the end of the day, I wanted to finish this, and it was almost 2026 in a few days. So I decided, no, I'm not bringing this into 2026. Let's end it right here. So that is the anticlimactic ending to Cringetober 2025. Maybe I'll get it next time. So then maybe I can customize a 30-day challenge to suit me so I don't give up every year like I do. So yeah, thanks for watching and bye.